Dear Customer, the podcast returns. Hey, everybody, this is Sean. Some of you will recall a year ago or so, we had a short season of the podcast. I got a lot of feedback from that, and it seemed people really enjoy the loss prevention stories and some of the fiction stories. So we're going to lean into that this season. I also wanted to try to figure out a way to cheer everybody up. If you're listening to this podcast or watching this video, you've probably been shit on in the last 2 years. And just by chance, I am now able to share some of the stories that I was not able to before. So one of the segments I think you're really going to like is loss prevention versus YouTubers and kind of what happens behind the scenes when the stores can get a little bit of justice, a little karma for Dear Customer. I also wanted to let everybody know you can now get Dear Customer content on Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, even LinkedIn. So I hope you'll listen. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. One of my favorite things to do at night is hop on Twitter. And if you're not following me on Twitter, just hashtag Dear Customer and you'll run into my account. And I like to search the word cashier or clerk or barista, and you just run into interesting Dear Customer comments. And sometimes I fuck with them, and sometimes I don't. The other night, I was searching cashier, and I ran into a tweet about how a Walgreens cashier had saved somebody from a scam, and they had a whole thread on it. And the person who tweeted it was Julie K. Brown. Some of you might know her. She wrote Perversion of Justice. She's a Miami Herald reporter. She is like one of the few people who kept going after the Jeffrey Epstein case. So what happened to her is that she got a call, and first off, whoever answers their phones anymore, but she got a call that said I think her electric bill or her electricity was going to be turned off, and they needed this money right away. And they had her going. They knew all her account information, everything. They had her going for a while, and she caught onto it, I believe. Oh, no. So she went to Walgreens to buy these Visa gift cards, and the cashier's like, hey, this is a scam. You're getting scammed. So they saved her. I was thinking back, but I think in like 2004, when I was at Walmart, customer came in, customer service, and needed a $5,000 something or other. And the customer service person is like, what's this for? And she said, well, my grandson called and he's in jail. 2004, remind you, this is a while ago. And our customer service person is like, are you sure you should call your son or daughter to make sure that the grandson's in jail? They call, the customer calls their son, the grandson is right there with them. And it was a scam, saved it. It was a long time ago. So this scam's been running. You call 100 people and ask them for their information. Eventually they're going to give it to them. Now, this reminded me of a great story. There's a little bit of a twist on it, is that they scammed our store. So at your store, you probably received these too, where people are basically trying to get, sometimes I don't even know what they're doing, but they'll say that they're the district manager and they need a cash refund. Or they'll say, what's another common one? They'll call and maybe like need access to the store after hours. And you say, okay, give me your phone number and I'll call you back. And then they hang up. There's a million weird ones. If you answer the phone at your store, you've heard a million weird ones. So this store that this incident take place, smaller volume store, but still pretty busy. It's kind of one of those small town stores that everybody goes to kind of regionally. So it's not that busy during the weekday, but then on the weekends it can get really busy. And as everybody knows, it's hard to hire employees and it's hard to hire managers because managers a shit job. It's always been a shit job. And then now you've added on mask police and vaccine defense and all that good stuff. So this store had hired a woman, we'll call her Amy. Amy was not young, but she was new to managing. So she had graduated college, she had done all that. Then I think she had gone off and done another career. Now she was a manager in the small town. She is closing one night on a Monday, and she gets a call from the company's CEO. And the CEO says, I really need your help. I'm here with, and that caller says he's there with the regional manager and the district manager. So Amy has heard these people's names. She had never met them. Actually, I think she had met the district manager like once on an interview. So she thought that all three of them were together. He said, there's been a big accounting error. We need your help immediately. She's like, all right, what do you need? And the caller tells her to get $10,000 cash and go to, it was Walmart in this town, buy a gift card and then give him the numbers. And then that would straighten out the accounting error. So Amy says, okay, I can help you with that. She goes, this store does not have $10,000 cash in it. So it has like 6 drawers. There's roughly $200 in a drawer. There's another maybe $1,500 in the safe for change. And then their deposit, which she was doing, had maybe another like $1,500 in it. And I should note that the strategy for this company was the store closes at 10. So they would have everybody leave at 10 except for the manager and one person. So every store has a different strategy. Some people stay 5 hours after close. Some people stay a half hour after close. This payroll was getting out of hand. So the company said, do everything you can to make it look good before 10 because every employee wants to leave at 10 no matter what. Anyways, so it's just the manager and one other employee. And so she's running around trying to get all this stuff done. And now this happens. She's not thinking about it. She thinks it's the CEO and the district manager and the regional. She goes back and tells them there's not $10,000 here. What should I do? And I read this report like 100 times. She could hear them conferring, the 3 people. So she thought it was legit. And one of them said, yeah, that makes sense. There's not $10,000. So they said, get whatever you can and we'll figure it all out in the morning. And she said, good, I'm Klopening. I will be here tomorrow morning and we can get this all situated. And they said, great, that's just perfect. So she takes all the money from the safe, all the money from the register, and the deposit. Closes the store. She gave them their cell phone. They said that they would call her. Closes up, doesn't say anything to anyone, brings the cash to Walmart, buys the gift card, calls them, gives them the numbers. Fuck, right? She goes home, goes to bed, wakes up the next day, she's Klopening, goes in there, and so the opening manager, there was somebody who did the cash office besides the manager, realizes immediately that there's no money. There's no cash in the store. And it's like, what is going on? And Amy's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's all going to get sorted out. They're going to call back in a little bit and we'll figure it out. And so the employee is just like, something is going on. And the employee recommended that she call the district manager or the store manager. So Amy calls both and leaves a message, something along the lines of, there's not enough change here. What do I do? And neither of them call back. The store manager said he had no idea what she was talking about and thought it was just some frivolous thing. So there's no cash in the store. And so they open the store and Amy's got messages out kind of going about the day. So they decide that they're going to put up signs that say we can only take credit cards today. There is no cash. So that's the sign. So at 11 o'clock, the mid-manager comes in and is like, what the hell's going on? What do you mean there's no cash? And she's like, oh, the district manager and this. And the mid-manager is like, holy fuck, what is going on? And then that's when they realize it was all a scam. All a scam. They call everybody. They get everybody. Poor Amy realized that she got in a bad way. And she quit like a week later. She felt so bad about it. She could never get over it. So I thought that was kind of like a fun little twist, a scam, but threw it at the store and the home office, ultimately at fault for making everybody do 100 times what they normally would do in the past. This also reminded me of at Kohl's when I was there many years ago. I have a lot of good Kohl's stories, but we had just constant fraudulent returns. People just pick stuff off the floor, come and return it. You couldn't quite prove that they didn't have it. You couldn't quite figure it out, but they never had a receipt. So we would just be like, okay, approve the gift card return. And then as immediately as they left, we would take that gift card number off the electronic journal and buy another one. And then like, well, if they come back, we've got it for them. But if they're a scammer, they won't. And that was probably illegal, certainly against store policy.